Hey guys, I hope you had an amazing fall break. I'm looking forward to coming back seeing you guys tomorrow. And this video is going to get you hopefully jumping right back in, using your brains, being productive, all that good stuff. So you should have your Go Math book, your earbuds because you're listening to this independently, um, or subtitles, however you need to do it, and then your pencil, your composition book, because you may want to take some notes as you go through some of the examples in your Go Math book. That's always a good thing to do. And then if you complete everything in your book today, I want you to go into a Desmos lesson just to do some extended practice and earn some extra props. So remember, this is not a freebie day. You guys need to stay on task, no games, things like that. It's gonna I've already talked with the sub, and we just don't want any of that happening. Otherwise, I have to deal with negativity when I see you, and I don't want to do that. So the plan is you're going to watch the video. You're going to complete not all of those pages, but I'll point out which ones you're going to in between 89 and probably 101 actually. And then I'll post the answer key in Teams. You guys can check that probably tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet, but it will be there for you and team so you can self check your work, see how you understood everything, and you'll know where to put more practice in before you take another test. Okay, and then finally the Desmos lesson, which will be in Teams. As of right now, it is not required, so it's just for props, but I want you to stay nice and busy today. Okay, so I go into Go Math. We're going to start with this page, which I believe is 89, and this is just a reminder that the rules for dividing with integers is the same as multiplying. So if there's an odd number of integers, it's going to be a negative. Um, of, if there's an odd number of negatives, your answer is going to be negative, and if there's an even number of negatives, your answer is going to be positive. Looking at this, if you've got just one of the negatives, it makes the whole fraction negative. So these are all equivalent here. And you can interpret that more and kind of just go through, answer all parts of the pages, even if it's a reflect question, because reflecting is super important. Okay, the next page. So go ahead and do the reflect. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I think you guys got this pretty well handled. Just read through the example if you need to, and then complete the problems just in the same steps that they're showing you. You can show your work on a separate piece of paper if you don't have room, and you probably want to do that in your composition book just so that it's all together. And then complex fractions, this is where we talked about like dividing a division problem is kind of weird, or dividing two division problems. That's what a complex fraction is. Your numerator and your denominator are fractions, therefore they're division problems. So this is where we just multiply by the reciprocal, and it'll show you all the steps and all of that if you need a refresher on what that looks like. And then you'll practice that down here. And obviously there's not enough space there, so you are going to want to work those out on a separate piece of paper. Remember, when you get it into multiplication and you flip the second fraction, at that point you can look to simplify by cross dividing. And if you're not familiar with that or you don't have enough practice with that, feel free to look it up on YouTube, Khan Academy, because it really is a helpful strategy. And I suggest that you guys get comfortable doing that. It makes it a lot easier. You don't have to simplify your answer later. Okay, and you can pause the video and work and then come back to it as often as you need to, rewatch it or whatever. Okay, so then you have a guided practice. And yes, I want you doing the last question. Work these out on a separate piece of paper if you don't have enough space. It looks like there's enough room here that they've left you to rewrite it and then solve it. So you should be able to do those there. But if not, like I said, composition book or separate piece of paper is fine. So I want you to do that. I do want you to do page 95 as well. Working things out like this that you need to rewrite and all of that on a separate piece of paper. Same with these if you need to. And then you can skip this page, so you're not doing that page. Maybe that was 93. This is 95. I can't see with this thing. Yeah, so that was nice. So do 93, skip 94. This one, again, assessing reasonableness of answers, super important quality. You cannot just come up with an answer and move on with your life. You need to check it and think about, does it make sense? Is it a reasonable answer? Because we don't catch mistakes if we're not doing that. So nice little refresher here on that and what that looks like. And then you can do the your turn. Here's a full page of an example. Go ahead and read through that, annotate, take notes as you need to, and then you've got a your turn here that applies to that last example. Then you just have another example. And then the guided practice in your turn, I want you to do that, page 98. Remember, when you see these rectangles and boxes, it just means it's breaking the information up. So it doesn't mean that you put the final answer here. It's working in steps. 99, I do want you to do this one if you can. Actually, you know what, on this one you could just, what do I want you to do? 1, 2. Just do 4, 5, and 7. 4, 5, and 7 on that one. You're skipping that page. And then I'm actually not going to have you do this, so I'm going to have you stop at page 99. We're going to do something a little different with our module review before we take a test. So we'll worry about that when I get back. Okay, so you can rewind it, go through, see which page numbers you need to do again. I will post this along with the answer key. I'll post the video, obviously. You've got that in Teams, but then the answer key will be done, like I said, either tonight or tomorrow, so you can check your work. And then we'll focus on wrapping up with module 3 and doing our test for it. Shouldn't be very long, no need to freak out. I do want to have a check-in quiz Wednesday, tomorrow. So be prepared for that. So just make sure you're really understanding how to do all these problems, even when it comes to the real world context of things. And anything else? Oh, and then the Desmos lesson is under the assignment. So if you get through everything and you still have time, it is a block day, so it depends on how quickly you work and how focused you are, but then you'll have time to do the Desmos lesson. If that is done, the Desmos lesson 2, and you still have time, you can go to coolmathgames.com, and I will have let the sub know that you're able to go on that, but your work is going to need to be checked. You're going to need to show that you've completed all your stuff if he asks, okay? I'll see you guys soon. I hope you've had a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.